After getting drafted in the 4th round, 99th overall in the 2013 NHL entry draft by the Nashville Predators, Finnish netminder Juuse Saros has developed into one of the best goalies in the National Hockey League at the moment, and a guy who I would say is the most underrated goalie in hockey. Saros has excelled at every level, including the Finnish Liga, the AHL with the Milwaukee Admirals, and now in the NHL with Nashville, where he's become a 2-time All-Star, an absolute workhorse, and a Vezina finalist. In an era where most of the top goaltenders in the league are very tall, usually 6'3" and above, Juuse Saros is one of the few outliers, standing in at just 5'11". But despite being one of the shortest goalies in the league, Saros is a guy that plays big and certainly doesn't give shooters much of anything to look at in net. Coming into the NHL as a backup in the 2016-17 season, Saros couldn't have asked for a better mentor than fellow Finn and legendary goaltender Pekka Rinne. In his first NHL season playing behind Pekka, Juuse watched him take the Preds all the way to the Stanley Cup final. And then in year 2, he watched Rinne win his first Vezina and was a part of the team that won the President's Trophy. Saros would eventually start to play more and more each of the next 2 seasons, and by the 2020-21 season, it was clear that the much younger Juuse was the better option in net, and he would take over Rinne's spot as the starter for Nashville. In the shortened 56-game season, the 25-year-old Saros had a spectacular year with a 21-11-1 record and .927 save percentage, good enough to finish 6th in the Vezina Trophy vote. After this season, Pekka Rinne would retire, and it was time for Saros to take on the full workload in net, which he was more than ready for. Each of the next 2 seasons, Juuse would lead the league in games played for a goalie, and in the 2022-23 season, he'd lead all netminders in shots against and saves. In back-to-back years, he put up a .918 and .919 save percentage and was top 4 in the Vezina vote each season as well, finishing as a finalist in 2021-22. In each of these years, he would also lead the league in goalie point shares, which is an estimate of the number of points contributed by a player due to his play in goal. The Preds made the playoffs in 2022, but unfortunately Saros was injured and missed the entire series. And maybe if he wasn't hurt, they might not have gotten steamrolled as hard as they did by the eventual Cup champs, the Colorado Avalanche. This year, although both Saros and the Predators got off to a slow start, over the past few months they've become one of the hottest teams in hockey. They're currently riding an 18-game point streak, and while Saros had just a .901 save percentage in the first 3 months of the season, so far in the last 2 months, he's gone 13-2-2 with a .923 save percentage, and Nashville currently sits in the top wildcard spot in the Western Conference, and are playing their best hockey at the right time. With Juuse Saros in the crease, they have a guy who could steal games come playoff time, and someone who gives them a chance to potentially upset one of the top teams in the conference if he stays healthy. If you're enjoying today's video, please consider smashing that subscribe button. We're so close to 5,000. We're also on the road to passing the Nashville Predators in subs as well. As you can see, Juuse Saros has become one of the top goaltenders in the best league in the world, and out of all goalies from his 2013 draft class, there isn't anyone with more wins than him. And interestingly enough, out of all active goaltenders who have played at least 250 games, Saros is currently the leader in career save percentage with a .918, ahead of a few big names like Andrei Vasilevsky, Connor Hellebuyck, Carey Price. Make sure to comment below whether or not you agree with me that Saros is the most underrated netminder in the NHL, and as always, thanks so much for watching.